So this is Terry. Today is 24th of March 2024, and this will be the shared recording of my YouTube channel, Amethyst Astro Tarot, and my podcast, Stars and Cars Chronicles by Amethyst Astro Tarot. Welcome to another episode. Today I would be talking about the eclipse of tomorrow. That would be the lunar eclipse, as you may already know about it. That will happen in the sign of Libra, and the degree of the eclipse would be 5 degrees and 13 minutes of Libra, as the moon would be in Libra, and then the sun is at the moment, as you may know, is already going through the sign of Aries. The thing is that this is actually, the eclipse will be happening just after the full moon. It would be followed by the full moon. The full moon would be happening like at 7 o'clock UK time, and then at 7:13 there would be the lunar eclipse. This lunar eclipse, astronomically, what they called would be the penumbral lunar eclipse, and I will just quote from a website what it might mean, which is the timeanddate.com, and they explain it as quoting from the article of Aparna Kem, Graham Jones, and Vigdis Håkon. This eclipse takes place when the moon moves. This kind of penumbral lunar eclipse takes place when the moon moves through the faint outer part of Earth's shadow, which is the penumbra. And again, astronomically, this type of eclipse is not as dramatic as the other types of lunar eclipses, and is often mistaken for a regular full moon. And also, it's important to know the time that it will take. I think the start would be the time of that a few hours, around 2-3 hours before it reaches the peak, and then we will have the peak point where we will have the eclipse, and then it will end again a few hours later after that. So duration of the eclipse would be around I think maybe even 4.5 hours or something like that, 4 hours 40 minutes. So these are some of the astronomical information why it is called penumbral lunar eclipse, not total or any other kind of. And getting into the technical side of the astrology, first of all, it's important to keep in mind that there is some kind of cycle called metonic cycle, and it happens that like 19, when we go back 19 years in our lives, actually we had at least the full moon. There was no solar eclipse in this time in 2005. There was only full moon, and there was a full moon again in Libra around this degree. So in that sense, in 2005, March 25, if you had anything related with this full moon, like something that is ending in your lives, and or something coming to a completion, and or reaching a really peak point in your lives in when it comes to Libra. It's, of course, is ruled by Venus. It's always maybe connected to more like relationships, and also being like, this being compromising when it comes to our relationships with the people. But it's also, I mean, Libra is like also is like about, justice. I mean, like also contracts and everything comes into that. I mean, there is this law part as much as love part. There's a law part of Libra in that sense. So in this regard, there could be anything related that came to an end, or came to a point that it's reached a point that that uh, it may had made a maximum, and then things may have started moving on to another direction, or may have gone completely down, or the other way around. So we have to think about it. And also, I mean, like we have to think about, again, like Libra is related with the organs of like kidneys, veins, skin, bladder, that kind of area. So things about that can might have happened in that area, that we have been going through some uh, health stuff related with that, and that could have come to a completion point in our lives as well. So we need to keep an eye on that. And that's actually the metonic cycle part. But of course, we have to also consider the also lunation, gestation, I mean, lunar gestation cycles as well. And then for that, we need to go like 15 18 months before the full moon. And we can see that in September 25, 2022, there was a new moon in Libra in 2 degrees 48 minutes. And this new moon is thought to be related to this new full moon, the full moon. And in that regard, in September 2022, I mean, like 25th of September, if you have started anything new in that era, I mean, like, again, it can be in terms of relationships, in terms of contracts, in terms of like anything like something new about the appearance. It can be also something aesthetical, or something about, again, your skin and the health and everything. It can be, I mean, anything that is Libra, anything that is about something finding just, and bringing justice in somehow to your life. I mean, that could have been the start of this full moon that would be happening on the 25th of March. Also, that um, it might have a much impact with the eclipse, because as I have explained in another recording, I mean, like eclipses, the way that their contact with the nodes, which are like significators of, in a way, our life journey, they may have a much importance and much longer impacts, and much important changes in our lives. I mean, in the meantime, I will start sharing the okay, I see that you cannot minimize Zoom. That stayed probably on the screen. Sorry about that. I will start sharing the screen for the eclipse chart for the UK. And it's important to tell that, I mean, full moon, when we say completion, I mean, like, that in the new moon we are just, setting up things. It's like planting some new seeds and everything. And then, I mean, when the first quarter comes, like nearly 9 months later of that, I mean, like we start in a way taking action about those seeds in a much better way, in a much active way. And then it's like all building up, building up, building up. And then there comes to a point that we would like to see the maximum, I mean, harvest, maximum fruit of the seeds that we have planted. And then accordingly, because we may decide, what do we decide? I mean, we can decide that, okay, we came to this point, what do we do? That maybe there are things that didn't serve us until this time. So what do we just take them out? And there are things that really work well for us, so we keep them together. And sometimes some of the things didn't work the way that we wanted, and then it may also help us to change the direction. So these are the general idea that the full moon can give. But also, if you think that in a full moon, and also in case of, I mean, for a lunar eclipse happening, we have um, um, full moon happening as well for the lunar eclipse. We have the sun here in Aries, and moon in Libra, which Aries and Libra are opposite signs, right? And Libra is like that we need this compromising, and also, I mean, we need the kind of, this we may feel maybe uh, better in a more harmonious, more loving environment, or maybe more just, where there is more fairness, where there is more justice. I mean, that can make us, I mean, emotionally feel safer and much secure. I mean, it's like it's a way. And uh, having said that, I mean, in a way, it's like, because uh, Libra is more about the, I mean, inclusion of others, but Aries is about us, our own selves. So this is also uh, a full moon, or in a lunar eclipse. It's like finding a balance, it's like, yes, I mean, maybe I want to be brave, I want to be there for myself, but I also feel much better when the other people's involved in my life, and then I can do actually something for the maybe well-being for others as well. So is it me or others? Or there's I mean, I'm just showing it to show the middle way, not showing any aspects, but it's like there can be a middle way. I mean, like, we cannot, maybe we shouldn't be completely me, or we shouldn't like feel better with the involvement of others. I mean, there can be a compromise between the two ends, and finding this balance as well, which I always think that I think the full moon is about um, putting a finding a midway between these energies that happen. And as we said again, when it comes to lunar eclipse, there are the nodes. I mean, uh, here we see the south node, and here we see the north node. And again, south node, I mean, in general terms, I explained before, is like, it's a more like a comfort zone, or something about our innate skills, or something about our past, but it makes us feel in a way, I mean, sometimes comfortable. I mean, it's like a safety point, because it feels like we already know about this. But North Node is something that you try to get away from this past, what we know or what is comfortable for us. And in this regard, I mean, like, so we want to do things for our own selves, I mean, for us, I mean, and then we would like to be also maybe uh, more brave and everything, and we want to go forward and do really something that only includes us, maybe not the others. And it's like, but I always feel that I mean to move forward from the south node is not like, oh, I just leave that behind. That there are always learned things there, experience, etc. And then you have to, we have to put it in our pockets, whatever it is coming there. And with all those learned experience, maybe it also, I mean, like empowers us and like helps us to move whatever direction we want to go, knowing that that comfort would not be with us, but at least the lessons or the, I mean, memories, whatever is there, the history will be in a way in some part of us and will help us improve in a better way. So in that sense, I mean, like when we look at the relationship between the sun and north node and moon and south node, it gives this feeling of this lunar eclipse has a lot to say about our life journey, what we are leaving behind, and where we are heading to in the, I mean, in a much energetic, maybe more enthusiastic, and or in a more I mean, like courageous way. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, um, so I mean, it depends, of course, in our charts, uh, where Aries is in this uh, degree. I mean, around 5 degrees, and also where Libra is around 5 degrees. And if we have any placements in Aries, Libra, and also we can add the other cardinal signs, which are Cancer and Capricorn, and we can understand what areas of life might be impacted more as a result of this lunar eclipse. And when we look at the chart and how the moon and the sun would be in relationship with the rest of the chart, we also see that here this is the planet Pluto, and moon is in a nice harmonious aspect with Pluto, which is a trine, and trine really may bring a harmony, and sun is in sextile to that. There is a harmony in sextile, but there needs to be a much more effort. But as a result, we can see that, I mean, like uh, with the Pluto, there could be a chance of um, much positive change or transformation. I mean, like even we may uh, like bury some of the things in our life, or leave some of the things behind, and we may decide to go ahead as even a different person with a different perspective. I mean, the change that could come along with this may not be really something that is a bad change. I mean, of course, transformations and everything can be challenging, or like just putting down some of the stuff and then like continue our way in a different direction may not be easy. But the looking at the aspects and everything, especially the trine with the moon, it is possible to say that at least, I mean, emotionally, the possible change could be beneficial and could be good in maybe even the long term. I mean, also, I mean, like when we look at the here, at least the north node, which also south node would be opposing, there is this the unity with the Chiron, and also it's like a very wide orb with the Mercury. Both of the planets are in Aries, and we can also think that, I mean, it's like a, I mean, kind of a learning process here. I mean, Aries, of course, I mean, it's like there is something like where when especially Mercury in Aries, I mean, like we may have this very high tempo type of thinking and communication, and but Chiron, like can be some kind of key or a bridge, rather than thinking of that what we are healing, what is our wounds, and can be a good point of um, bridge again to move forward, and then can maybe support this kind of possible change that may happen during this lunar eclipse. I think we have to take into that account as well. I mean, also, I mean, like when we see that the ruler of Libra, the moon is in Libra, which is Venus, which is at the moment in Pisces, and that is really a nice energy as well, which because can tell us that there is something really compassionate, there is something really emotional, and there is something that is really maybe supporting our dreams in a way. And also, I mean, like the other ruler of Aries is Mars. Mars is also in Aries, and when I was writing about Mars in Aries, I was telling that it's like maybe it's the time to have the courage to tell all the world about our emotions, how we feel, how is our inner world, and then maybe make it in a way our think to pass this energy to others as well. I mean, of course, this Pisces energy that is more about the collective unconscious and putting other people's above us may not be that much in line with Aries that wants to go. It's about I, but still, I think that could be also, I think, kind of the balance that we may need with the full moon and lunar eclipse as well. I mean, so I think, like, really, let's look at what happened 19 years ago, what we may have started 18 months ago, and also where these uh, signs are in our natal charts, and maybe we can tap into our own stories and see what may unfold in the following months as a result of this lunar eclipse, full moon, and followed by the lunar eclipse. I mean, with the lunar eclipse, the impact, like I think there are different um, calculations and factors taken into account, but it would be, I mean, more or less, if you think that sometimes it's totaled up to 6 months. We can see the impacts, the things still happening, unfolding with the under the impact of this. But at least we have to see a month ahead, a few months ahead. We can say that, see what will happen in the lives, and especially these degrees, 5 degrees of the most the cardinal signs. Really, let's take into account. I hope that it's like this lunar eclipse and the full moon will bring the best and the possible balance, peace, and courage, and everything at the same time together. All the best. I will stop the sharing here, and I'm wishing everyone the best of all. Bye bye.